Okay, in this video it's a 13 minutes ride, I think. I'm riding my horse. Of course I was the one who started him or broke him, so he knows my way of riding. So as you can see, the connection between the hand and the mouth is always there. You can see it while I'm riding the horse in this video. In all the parts of this video, walking, cantering, trotting, galloping, there is connection between the horse and the rider. Sometimes he's bending his neck, sometimes he's not. Sometimes it's a short rein, sometimes, or short contact, sometimes it's a loose rein. Sometimes I'm using my legs, sometimes I'm not. So different styles, different looks, but always the same result. Castle control and real trust. He gave me everything I wanted because I gave him everything he wanted. I did not interfere in his nature, so he did not interfere in my nature. I did not say no, so he did not say no. So if you do that with horses, it's like riding the horse when he's alone in the nature. Sometimes he will bend his neck, sometimes he will not, sometimes he's calm, sometimes he's hot or warm, sometimes he's happy, sometimes he's a little bit calm. It depends. It's like riding the horse when he's alone in nature. You become a piece with the horse, from the horse, not on the horse, as we said before. The same goes for the tail or the ears, as we talked before. One time it's moving to the front, the other time it's moving to the back, towards me. One time it's moving to the right, another time it's moving to the left. The same goes for the tail. Sometimes he moves the tail and play with it, sometimes he does not. So I do not interfere in the looks or the outlooks. I do not ask him to do something that I don't have the right to ask him to. He has rights and you have rights, as we talked about before. So do not interfere in his rights so that he will not interfere in your rights. Any interfering in his rights will lead to interfering in your rights. And he is, as we said before, always stronger, so he can hit harder and say no more than you can. Like if you say no, he will give you a bigger no, a more no. So do not give him a no so that he will not give you a no. So as you can see, I was just controlling the horse with my fingers. Just the side finger, thumb, sometimes the little finger. So you control the horse with fingers alone, without tools, without equipment, without saddle. That means there is no strength, no power, no forcing. Although even if you force the horse to do what you want, he will not do it in that way. Even if he did it, although he will not do it, but if he did it, he will not be comfortable. He will not be happy. But when you do it with your fingers, that means there is no forcing at all. He's doing what you want because he wants to do it. He chose to do it. Why did he choose to do it? Because he knows you are a piece from him, a piece with him. So that means anything that happens to you will happen to him. So he will protect you to protect himself. Your safety is his safety. You become one with the horse. So like the other videos, you see some connection between the rider and the horse. Compare between the back of the rider and the back of the horse. The arm and the forehead of the horse. The hand or the palm or the fist and the mouth of the horse. The eye and the eye. My legs and his legs. You feel that there is some connection. Anything that he does will affect me, and anything I do will affect him. And that is true horsemanship. When you ride a horse, you feel a real connection between you and the horse. Not just extra weight on the horse and that's it. Like other things you do. When you work your muscle or whatever, other sports, it's all about the muscle. In horsemanship, it has nothing to do with strength or muscle. It's all about reactions and actions. Like martial arts, they did not call it martial sports. They said martial arts. Because it is an art, not a sport. It's not just about the muscle, it's about the reactions. So horsemanship, in my opinion, true horsemanship, is not a sport. It's an art. It's like painting. Of course, you have to be a true horseman to know that. Beginners always use strength, so to them, riding horses is a sport. But true horsemen do not use strength. And if you are not using strength, it's not sport anymore. It's an art. Horsemanship, in my opinion, is an art, not sport. The art of reactions or the art of actions. You react to his action or you react to his reaction. Of course, in my opinion, it's always a reaction from the horse. Like if you go in the past, the one who began the relationship between the horse and the man was the man, not the horse. We were hunting horses, then we started to break and start and train horses. So the first action was made by man, not horses, by mankind, by human beings, by us, by people, not by horses. So if the first action was made by mankind or human beings, that means everything that horses do is a reaction, not an action. So even when horses act before you act, it's still a reaction. A reaction for what? Or reacting for what? They are reacting for your action as a human being, as a mankind, which is leading him, breaking him, starting him, riding him, controlling him. So even if you say he's acting before I acted, it is still a reaction for your action. What was your action? Your action is just being a mankind, being a human being. To him, a human being, a mankind coming to me is an action. So he must have a reaction. So horses only have reactions. Everything they do with you is a reaction, not an action. Actions and reactions are made by people. But horses only make reactions. So you act, then they react, then you react. Fix your action, and they will fix their reaction, then you can fix your last reaction. But if your action is bad, their reaction should be and will be bad, then your last reaction will be bad and wrong. So, as we said before, it's always in your hand, or between your hands. The future is in your hands, not in the hands of the horses. They do not decide the future, you decide it. Of course, the future of riding the horse or training the horse. As you see, when I am trotting the horse, when I am cantering the horse, when I am walking the horse, it's always the same results. He can do it while bending his neck. He can do it while I am riding him with a loose rein. I can ride him with a short contact, short rein. But still he will give me the same results. Different looks, different views, different styles, different places, different horses, different breeds, same result. All the time, same result. This is true horsemanship. But if you bring a horse and train him for everything you want, then he gives you what you want. And if you change the color or the situation or the place, he will not give you the same result. What is special about that? There is nothing special about it. So, to be a special horseman or a special way of riding, you must do it in different situations and prove that you are having the same results. In all places, all situations, all horses, all breeds. If you do that, that is special. Of course, special means only true horsemen do it, not everyone do it. Of course, when I say true horsemen, as we talked about before, as we said before, true horsemen, I mean true horsemanship ways of riding. I'm not talking about men or women or children that are good riders. I'm talking about ways of riding. Is it a good way of riding or is it a bad way of riding? Is it a good school of riding or is it a bad school of riding? So I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about ways of riding. So it's not personal. Again, I always say that because I'm not talking about a person or people. I'm talking about ways of riding. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about my way of riding, or the way of riding that I am riding with, which is, in my opinion, the natural way. If you bring someone and let him ride alone without training him or teaching him about anything about horses, with time he will ride in that way because it is, in my opinion, the natural way. The way that no one will teach you about. Only horses will teach you about this way. It is the way that you are born with. If no one interfered in your nature and no one told you what to do, this is the way of riding that you will ride with, because it is your nature to do that. That's my opinion about ways of riding. You see, in the video, I just dropped the reins or rode the horse with a very loose rein, and he slowed down then stopped. I was riding the horse in canter with a short contact, a short rein. Then I dropped the reins and held him with a loose rein, and he slowed down then stopped. Normally horses do the opposite. When you throw the reins, they run more and more and more. When I threw the rein or ride him with a loose rein, he slowed down and stopped. He wanted me to collect the rein to be close from him. So he did the opposite of what horses do. If you ride horses with a loose rein, they will run away, especially Arabians. When I rode him with a loose rein, he slowed down. He was saying, come on, collect the rein, let's go. He did exactly the opposite of what people do. And that is true horsemanship, because I made the horse special. I made him do something that horses cannot do alone. So he's doing it because of me. And that is special. Again, in this video, I think I made a move with my legs, or with my leg. I just collect one of my legs, I move it up to his body, and he stops. Then I move the right leg to his body, and he stops. As we said before, any disagreement between me and the horse should and would and will lead to a stop, a full stop. And this is what you see in this video. Any disagreement between me and the horse will lead to a stop. And then we will talk about what we should do. Any disagreement means stop. Then we will talk about it. But with bad riders or bad ways of riding, any disagreement will lead to a takeoff. He will buck you off. He will throw you off his back. He will play. So if any disagreement between you and the horse will lead to a problem, will lead to a dangerous move, a dangerous situation, that's a problem. Because horses will always disagree with you. And if they do bad things or wrong things when they are disagreeing with you, that means they will keep hurting you because they always disagree with you. Horses always disagree with people. But if disagreement will lead to a stop, that means horses always disagree with you, and when they disagree with you, they will always stop. That's a good thing. There is nothing wrong with that. And with time, the horse will do what you want because he hates stopping. Horses hate stopping. It's against their nature. They don't like to stop. They want to keep moving. So if they know that any disagreement between the rider and the horse will lead to a stop, disagree, stop, disagree, stop, disagree, stop, he will say, if I disagree with this asshole, he will stop me, or I will stop for him. So instead of disagreeing with him, I should agree with him and do what he wants, because what he wants is very close to what I want, or at least closer to what I want than stopping. So he will do what you want him to do by choosing to do it. He chose to do it. You did not force him to do it. He chose to do it. That is true horsemanship. Of course, if someone says he can force him to do that, do it, then we will talk about it. You cannot totally control the horse by forcing him to do things. Real trust is the best and only way. That's a fact, not an opinion.